Aveline!
Hello, Hawke.
That's it?
What? Oh, right. Sorry. It feels like we just talked. I've been keeping an eye on you. Information is one of the few perks of this job. Watch out for Bartrand. He's a son of a bitch.
You know I don't like it when you have people watch me.
Saved me camping on your doorstep. After what we went through to get here, well, you're no child, but I take care of my friends. The places they have me patrolling, I've got time.
Still having trouble? I thought you were past all that.
Lately, I don't know. I've been pushed out to some dead patrols. Maybe I stepped on someone's toes.
You can be forceful.
My charm, right? I should be able to go where I'm needed. In fact, I might have a job for you. Let me know if you want to do a favor for Kirkwall. Otherwise, I'm here if you need me. Maker knows I could use more satisfying work.
This must be a very different pace from serving King Cailan.
I love that life, but there's a new king for a new Ferelden. Seems cocksure, but I guess he was there when the Archdemon fell. Can't fault an active hand. It's just one more change, though. The real end for me was Ostagar. You and Carver must have felt something similar. I don't know if that's right to say. I barely knew him.
I don't dwell on it. I guess we had that in common.
Then I would have liked him.
The Blight is over. You could go back to Lothering.
That wasn't home for me. It was just where the Horde pressed us. It wasn't the first village I saw fall. But you don't get used to people losing everything.
I'd been away already. I don't know if I'd still call it home.
Sometimes the best thing about a place is that it's where you're from.
Seems like Kirkwall suits you.
It has been a challenge. Lots of opportunity, if you're the type the locals want.
Are you?
If you argue enough, you kind of convince yourself.
It's been a year settling in. Are you all right?
You don't need to coddle me. I am where I am. How close I hold my memories is my own business.
All right, Aveline. You have something worth doing?
My patrols may be empty walks in the dark, but there's something big coming up, and I could use you. An ambush, probably for a caravan, although I can't find any shipments that match up. Doesn't matter though. Highwaymen waiting for someone to rob. I'm putting a stop to it, my district or not.
Seems like you'd want to share this with your fellow guards.
I will, if you sit on your hands. I'll send my alerts, and someone else will lead a patrol. But there's profit and influence to be had. You're my friend, so I'm offering.
You've been nosing around outside your commission.
I have contacts, and they're complaining about a lack of meat. Thugs and such. Someone is hiring. And one or two were told to prepare for travelers. You want to be good at this job? You pay attention to what's missing, and when people arrange escape routes.
I'm no guard, Aveline.
There's only so many of us. Temporary recruits are expected time to time, as long as they're competent. You still claim to be competent, right?
Do you have a name or anything else to go on?
Not important. If we show up and they attack, they're bad. Simple as that. I'll wager it's smugglers, though. Like I said, seems like an obvious trap for a caravan.
All right, Aveline. I'll play guard for you.
I knew I could count on you. They're hidden up Sundermount, remote and rough, but we can make good time with a shortcut this side. And no, you can't run off and do it without me. I trust you, but I have to be there. You're acting on behalf of the Guard. Well equipped for bandits, but dead is dead and the road is clear. Captain Jevon needs to know of this. Back to the barracks for your just reward. There's Jevon's office. Wait while I explain our initiative.
I don't know how they do it where you're from, guardswoman, but I decide the patrols, not you and your whims. You may have been put up for lieutenant in your first year, but I'll have no show-offs in my command. Have I made myself clear? Report to your post before I have you and your Ferelden accomplice jailed.
Well, what a charming fellow.
I don't have to like him, but he could at least listen. Bandits are dead. That's all that should matter. It's not the first time he's made me wonder like this. Something is very wrong.
So let's find out whose toes you actually stepped on.
Then we should check the duty roster and see who was supposed to take that route. What have I stepped in this time? Threaten my friends. Not letting that one go, Captain.
Fine day, Surana.
Aveline! I owe you for clearing that ambush the other night. Saved me a mess of trouble.
Brennan, that route was yours?
It was. Single patrol. I'd have been dead for sure.
A lone guard isn't much of a patrol.
Shouldn't need to be. That route was clear for weeks. First noise out of it was your big fight. The captain reassigned me after he heard what you did, and I passed the satchel to Donnic for his patrol tonight.
The satchel?
Pay and order assignments. Captain has us run deliveries to the outposts during light duty. It's usually just an updated copy of the roster. The satchel for that night was heavy, though. Anyway, thanks again, Aveline. You're a good one.
So the satchel gets heavy the same day we discover an ambush?
You're sure you want to pursue this? This is your superior we're talking about.
If a guard has been put at risk, a good captain would want to know why. And if he's not a good captain, I want to know why.
I bet there's a perfectly reasonable lie that explains why your captain arranged this.
I'd be willing to hear it, but not while a guard may be walking into a trap. Brennan said Donnic. A good man. Donnic. I've got his route. A night walk in Lowtown. Let's go make sure his quiet patrol stays that way.
Who... Aveline? You're a beautiful sight.
Guardsman.
I mean... I was on patrol and they came out of nowhere. I took a few down, but there were too many at once. The captain said this route was supposed to be quiet.
The seal of the Viscount. Office details. City accounts. Valuable to a guild of thieves.
A sacrificial delivery with one of our own. Captain Jevon will answer.
Selling out his own? Forget guard captain. This man needs to be in government.
Not now, Hawke. Jevon needs to see how justice works. This goes to the office of the Viscount. This will be known.
How dare you! I am guard captain! I won't be treated like this! Ferelden, bitch! This was none of your affair! I'll see you hanged! Quartered! This will not stand!
We found a number of debts to suspect peoples. Such poor character. But you, Aveline Bhelen, have proven your loyalty and ability.
The Guard deserves better than him, Messire.
Indeed. The Viscount would have you put your care for the men into direct practice. You will assume the captain's job.
What?
In due time, of course. There will be training, approvals, months at least. But who better to rebuild respect than the woman who exposed this embarrassment? Resolve any outstanding business, guardswoman. You will be very busy.
Out of your element, dwarf.
No thanks to this lot, can't get a decent blade at a bargain anymore. You, though, you're what a man needs. A skilled enthusiast.
You can start making sense any time now.
My manners. Javaris Tintop, merchant and investor. I need forward thinkers to help court the Qunari.
Court the Qunari? Make her think of the children.
Those hornheads in Kirkwall have a powder that explodes, and it's just dust. No lyrium, no demons. Anyone can use it.
I often look at every second idiot and think, he needs more power.
I doubt they were eager to sell.
That Arishok said I wasn't worthy. That only their outcast, the Talvashoth, or that mercenary. I said, great, I'll go talk to them. Didn't go over well. But, made me think. Maybe he'll bargain if I get rid of something that bothers him more than, well, me.
The Talvashoth.
The Talvashoth. Are you up for some paid hunting?
Your people must have something like that already.
Small things, shaped to crack faults, not shatter the earth. Plus, they're mostly lyrium. Expensive, poisonous. The chantry controls it topside. The glow makes you a target. Problem after problem.
What's the point when we already have magic that can do the same thing?
Maybe you have magic, all tough and human and whatnot. But what of the common man? How does he remove stumps from his land, or produce them on his enemies? What does he do when he needs a hole far too fast? Magic is hard to market. But this stuff you can put in a bag.
I suppose there could be a reward for these Talvashoth.
As long as you do it, I'm happy. Now, best I could figure, they're up the Wounded Coast, a whole camp. Take their heads off and meet me at the compound in Kirkwall. Get this right, and we'll be richly rewarded. Richly.
No further, human. Talvashoth control these passages.
Ambushes are usually quieter, Qunari.
I did not intend to ambush. I expected to warn a caravan, but you are not helpless. The path ahead is littered with my kind. If you are as skilled as you look, it would please me if you killed them.
You have turned your back on your kin?
Yes, for a second time. I did not like my role, so I left the Qun. I do not wish to be a murdering thief, so I left these Talvashoth to warn their victims. You are no victim, so now I will leave.
I want a friendly way to get what I need.
You will be disappointed. They are reveling in chaos. It is a wretched freedom. I still need order, even if I insult the core of the Qun by selling my honor as a mercenary.
Do I really have to convince you to do the right thing?
I have already done more than was demanded, by my own choice. You have my word of caution, human. Heed it or do not.
Let me pass. I have business with the dwarf Javaris and your Arishok.
The short mouth, yes. Enter if you must, Basra.
Ah, my right hand arrives. Summon your Arishok. The bargain is done. About time you showed. I've been here for hours. Illustrious Arashok, I am here to report that your hated Talvashoth were felled, one and all. Right? Yes, they were. So, I'm ready to open negotiations for the explosive powder, as we agreed.
No.
He's not getting it. Say something.
The Talvashoth camped at the Wounded Coast are dead. You won't honor your bargain?
There is no bargain to honor. His offer for the Gatlock was refused, so he invented a task to prove his worth, when he has none.
I broke my beard getting your outcasts killed.
You hired someone more competent and now stand in their shadow pretending it is yours. You demean her accomplishment. Get out of my sight before I bother lifting my sword.
Nevertheless, you have benefited from his action.
Do you think we are unable to hunt our own outcasts? This was interference, nothing more.
So I get nothing for all this work?
If anything, we have been denied the righteous application of the wisdom of the Qun. What payment should I exact for that? Go, dwarf, before I begin my tally.
He had big plans for your recipe. I was supposed to get a piece of that.
Dwarf, did your imaginary bargain make promises on my behalf?
I expected your wisdom to be more profitable.
Then you will pay on my behalf.
It's not at all. Take your coin, take whatever. Hornhead oxmen and mongrel donglords, suck your own powder and blow your head off, sod it.
You will leave as well, human. There's no more coin for you here. Why do you bother me, human? The dwarf paid you, there is no more. Your kind thinks selfishness and want are normal. This city, all of it, leaves a bad taste.
If you despise this place, why haven't you left?
Since we arrived, I have seen nothing but greed and weakness. Dwarves, humans, elves, just festering. No order, no goal. You are one of the few I have met with any ability. And yet this too was random, a result of selfishness. I cannot fathom how a mire like this can be justified. You say we should leave, but how can you bear to stay in this chaos?
Why would anyone want to change it?
You like it?
It's a city of people living their lives, for good or ill.
Karistan are soldiers. The Qun made it so. They can never vary from that assigned path, never be other than they are meant to be. But they are free to choose within that role, to accept and succeed, or deny and die. Glory is clear and defined. You allow chaos for good or ill, but one is clearly superior. Can you see how that certainty would benefit this whole city?
He's free to choose to obey. That isn't contradictory to you.
He chooses to be, as do we all, long before any of your meaningless freedoms are presented. I am not the one to educate you. I did not intend to land here. But this city may demand certainty. I suspect we are done, human.
You guard your powder carefully.
It is a tool that can only be allowed to exist under the ordered authority of the Qun.
It could benefit many people.
It does now. Just as swords benefit warriors, but are not given to children. Well, your children.
I don't think Kirkwall would do well under military rule.
The rule of the Qun is not military. It is discipline and order.
How is that different?
To your limited understanding, it is not. You fear soldiers that arrive to remove your pitiable vices. But they do not control Kunari. The Triumvirate divides and governs. One is nothing without the others.
Can you tell me about the other two parts?
No.
Now you're just being difficult.
I am no more equipped to explain than you are to understand. Hawke, Arigena, Arikyun, pillars of the Kunari, of the nation that must be. There is but one way to know these things, human, and I have yet to decide if it must be done.
You're a long way from home. Why did you come?
To meet a demand of the Qun.
Which was?
It is a matter only the Kunari understand. We remain until we fulfill the demand of the Qun. Or until the demand changes.
How many Kunari have you lost to the Tal-Vashoth?
None.
Optimistic, considering my death toll.
We lose nothing when weakness abandons the Qun. It is the Tal-Vashoth who have lost themselves.
I met an honorable one.
Doubtful.
He said he was a mercenary, not a murderer.
Then I know he made no claim to honor. When they sell themselves, little remains. He is not even dead to the Qun. He is a living insult.
Farewell.
Panahedan, human.
Here, miss. Word is you're looking for help. And paying well.
I need someone native to the dark places beneath Lowtown. If you claim as much, yes, I will pay.
I am. Let's just step into this alley, and me and my fellows can have a look at the money on offer.
Another sad Lowtown tale in the making. As if we needed another.
Can you save someone so intent on being foolish?
Well, thank you for your timely intervention. I am out of my element.
Surely you didn't realize that just now.
I had to come here to get the type of person I need. Someone of bloody skill, but also integrity. Perhaps the kind who might leap to someone's defense. I have a charge who needs passage from the city. If you are willing and capable, meet me at my safe house nearby.
I just saved you in an alley, and suddenly we're in business?
You're in Lowtown. What grand scheme could I be interrupting? Varnell!
Not so helpless, I see.
I hope you will come. This matter only grows more urgent with time.
Nice to see you too.
I thank you for coming. This matter is delicate, and I need someone of limited notoriety who will not link this to me. It is an escort, but I think you will agree the nature of the party makes this unique.
If this is criminal, I already have enough trouble.
I should think you're about to have more. I am Sister Patrice. This is my burden of charity.
Maker.
Would even a Templar bind a mage like this? A survivor of infighting with their Tal-Vashoth outcasts. I call him Katojan, a bridge between worlds. The Viscount and others feel that peace begins with appeasement. This mage would likely be returned to his brutal kin. He can serve a better purpose. I want him free. He must be guided from the city without alerting his people, or being seen in my care.
You don't just stumble on something. Someone like this.
For all their blasphemous certainty, the Kunari do have deserters. Those who seek freedom are hunted mercilessly.
Tal-Vashoth. They seem to accept the role.
Even their rebels conform. Savonel observed one of their bloody exchanges. This poor mage was the only survivor.
And you think this mage was being hunted?
I'm certain no thinking creature would willingly submit to this. If he was not running before, he has seized the opportunity now.
Will he help? If I trust him at all.
I don't know his capabilities, or if he can function at all in that collar, but I think he knows we are his only way out.
You think?
He's followed every direction and made no aggressive moves, even when taunted. Were I in his place, I could have fled. Qunari or not, I can only assume he wants to be led to freedom.
And if you're wrong, I have to deal with it.
That is why I went to Lowtown. You are either capable of the discretion and skill that I need, or you are not.
If you are so intent on this, why not use Chantry resources?
My order will soon realize the Qunari presence is more than a test of faith. It is an open challenge. But for now, I must act on my own. Helping this mage shows how Qunari heresy cannot be ignored. His flight is vital.
Is freedom so helpful? A new life with that collar seems doubtful.
And yet it is more than he has. My reach is limited. His struggle is his own.
It just seems like releasing a bird, cage and all.
We do what we can to step toward what is right. That must be enough.
You are not interested in who you might be hiring?
If you were important enough to know, I would need someone else. But if you insist, what is your family name?
My name is Hawke.
Strong. Very Ferelden. The Qunari have hardly pressured the southern nations. You have not seen as many converts or those who refused. If this action, if any action, can lessen their influence, it must be done.
I can get him out of Kirkwall. He's a bit conspicuous for the streets, though.
I had never thought about the plight of mages among the Qunari. But it seems they are even more oppressed than we are.
That is obviously not an option. You must avoid incident with the guards. I cannot be linked to this. This mage will be a fine example of how cruel Qunari are, even to their own. But only if this plays out just so. The passage here leads to the warrens of the Undercity. It is dangerous, but that is why you were hired. Good luck.
Ah, look at this. Undercity's feared by all, but there's no shortage of fools with coin who want to test it. What is this thing? Collared like a dog lord's bitch. You some sort of Qunari lover? Maybe I should get rid of you and see who will pay the most for your pet.
I don't think it likes you threatening its master. Maybe we let this one pass.
A voice of reason. What's he doing with you?
You lot think you're so damn right. Buying everything, running free marches like me into our own sewers. You want us bound, like this thing? I'll see you dead first.
By the void! Kill it! Kill them all!
They get the idea, Qunari, Katojan. Whatever. Calm yourself. Did you react because your lead was threatened? How much of this is just blind instinct, I wonder? You can't gesture or stomp your feet twice for yes or something.
The sister has assumed a great deal from a few grunts and twitches.
You did what I said. Did I hit the right phrase or something? Right. Could have expected that answer.
I'm getting you out of here before you help again. Still clear as a bell. Great.
You will hold Basravashidan. I am Arvarad, and I claim possession of Serabas at your heel. The members of his Karatam were killed by Tal-Vashoth, but their disposal leads only here, to Serabas and you.
How did I know this job would end in more Qunari?
You speak as if ignorance is your natural condition. The bodies of his slain Karatam could lead only here. I do not know how you come to hold his leash, but you have no claim in the Qun. He will be returned and this crime cleansed.
And if he doesn't want to go back?
Serabas, show that your will remains bound to the Qun. He has only followed you because he wants to be led. He is allowed no other purpose.
The sister called him Katojan. You are Serabas?
Serabas is his role and his name, as you understand it. It is the accusation and acknowledgement of being a mage.
And you are Arvarad?
My role is to hold the leash and hunt the Grey Ones who leave the Qun. Or Baz who have not yet been enlightened.
You don't care that someone abused your dead to get you here?
No doubt they were cast from your shoulders as you or your partner thieves grew weak. It is a crime whose victims are beyond caring. It will be dealt with, but the greater threat is clear. It is my role to secure Serabas. It is the role of another to purge the perversions of your kind.
He is bound and abused, and you want him caged. Why?
The power that he has, that all Serabas have, draws from chaos and demons. They can never be in control.
So you fear them?
Like so many others.
We leash Serabas because they are dangerous and contagious. Not even your Templars fully grasp that threat.
Are mages like Anders so dangerous? He's given no reason to fear him yet.
You waste your breath. He'll never tolerate my kind.
You are Serabas? Bas Serabas? Vashidan! Nera Setar Karasam! You spewed your words at me like a demon trying to poison my control. Like this mage, the Qun requires your death.
But we're no threat to each other.
Bas Serabas, you will be no threat to anyone.
Can you stand?
I am unbound. Odd. Wrong. But you deserve honor. You are now Basvarad, worthy of following. I thank your intent, even if it was wrong. I know the will of Arvarad. I must return as demanded. It is the wisdom of the Qun.
So after all this, now you want to die?
I do not want to die. I want to live by the Qun.
Which means dying.
Yes. Is that hard to grasp?
Averard couldn't kill me. Perhaps he was wrong about your death, too.
Losing to you does not make him wrong. He spoke the Qun. I have chosen. It is bred in the bone.
Existing is not a choice.
It is the only choice. As it Taleb. It is to be.
Could you have returned if I'd let these others live?
No.
You were doomed from the start.
I was outside my Keratam. I may be corrupted. I cannot know. How I return is my choice.
Of all the ridiculous, spineless, mind-controlled, senseless piece of shit arguments I've ever heard.
What comfort has freedom brought you, Mage? You would have more if you submitted to the Qun.
Others of your kind live outside the Qun. You could join them.
They are not my kind. I am Qunari. They are not.
They have chosen to be free.
Free? They have refused what they are. I can't choose to not be.
Patrice might take you back if death is the only other option.
The sister was not honest.
What do you mean?
I cannot say what she wanted, but it was certainty, not of the Qun. And her guard smelled of death.
My job ended when we exited the city. The rest is up to you.
You know of certainty and borders. You are closer to the Qunari than you admit. Your role would change little if you accepted the Qun. Take this secret thing, Basfarad. Remember this day.
Leave nothing. It must be clean, with no ties. Hawke. It was Hawke, right? From the streets. You took the Qunari from the city? Without incident?
You know what we faced.
Mind your tongue, Ferelden.
Please, do speak your mind.
Don't string me along. You know that I know.
Whether you believe it or not, I wished you no harm. That might have been useful for someone, but still regrettable. A massacre of citizens protecting a slave might have forced the Chantry to doubt appeasement, to see the Qunari for the monsters they are. Perhaps finding the Mage was a rushed opportunity. If such a plot existed, I see how it might be disagreeable to you.
If, perhaps. Why dance around this lie? I'm standing right here.
If a member of the Chantry admitted instigation, I have no doubt it would result in more appeasement. But an accusation from a low-town thug? You are hardly that important. That's not an insult. It's why I chose you. Rest assured, excuses, real or imagined, are not for your benefit.
I have no allegiance to Qunari. You lost a potential ally.
Perhaps. But I will not risk these kinds of relationships again. Take your pay and be gone. I am new to this, I admit. But someone has to think of eternity. The peace will not last.
We have little to discuss, human. For now, I would think on the fate of this city.
I've had confrontations with others in your command.
There have been a number of incidents, but you must mean Arvarad, found dead after tracking Cerebos. I thought nothing could threaten Arvarad.
You're not angry?
A mage is dead. That is what matters. The rest is impressive, but do not repeat it.
I believe a member of the Chantry intended it to happen.
Friend and enemy blend together in this sea of filth. I can barely discern one group from another. But as this clearly means something to you, I acknowledge the risk taken.
Sarabas chose death over leaving the Qun.
That is good to hear.
That is all you have to say?
I will not insult Sarabas with the suggestion that making the right choice was difficult. I expect as much from every Qunari. I doubt Sarabas earned a greater honor in his life than my reaction now.
Farewell.
Panahedan, human.